Hi, welcome back. We're going to continue with the advanced beginner demos in open serving vessels. What I'm going to make next is going to be simply a quiche pan and how to make an open serving vessel. The quiche pan is also a perfect pan for your multiple layered Mexican bean dip and several other types of cooking recipes, casserole recipes, but it doesn't have a lid. Here we go. You know the hand positions. Smear the lower shoulder. We're dealing with this piece, I think, is around just over 5 pounds, a little smaller than the clay we use for the pie plate. Coning up. Coning down. Now, just like in the dinner plate and the pie plate, we can afford to cone this down a little flatter and lower because we're not pulling the clay vertically, we're moving the clay horizontally. Cosmetic centering. Alrighty, so that's our foundation. Now, just like the pie plate and the dinner plate, we're going to move this clay outward. Sponge in the fist of the right hand. This knuckle is going to compress down, creating a crater. See the small crater? That pulls the clay out towards me at 6 o'clock. As it comes out at 6 o'clock, the left thumb is right here, compressing the clay back in as I pull the clay into it. So the right hand pulls the clay out, the left thumb pushes the clay back in. And then we, watch this, I move this angle of the wrist down towards the wheel head to compress the ridge of clay we've created at the edge of the crater down to the wheel head. Okay, now we're going to open. I'm just going to open with my fingertips, compressing the rim as it creates. See how this rim is being created? Rather than letting it stick way up in the air and becoming weak, I'm going to compress it as I pull it out. Check the rim, squeezing the sidewall together and pressing the rim down. Going to pull out a little more. And widen it just a wee bit more. That's good. Now we're going to take our rib tool, compress the bottom. Again, I want to reiterate, strong compression on the bottom of a wide open flat piece is very important. There's a lot of issues with shrinkage and cracking on big wide open bottom forms. So wiring today, wiring tonight, wiring off again tomorrow really matters. So now I move the clay in and I'm just going to start to pull it up. Now in a quiche pan or a cooking vessel that has the lattice work like a quiche pan, which we also use this regularly for other pastries, and I know in my family we used it a lot for, I think it's called the Mexican 7-bean dip that's layered with guacamole and lots of cheddar cheese and sour cream. It has a high wall. Okay, that's my high wall. I compress my rim. So that's my form. Now, before I shape the rim, I take my wire and I wire it off. Then I take my thumb and my index finger, the right hand, over here at 4 o'clock, and then the middle finger of the left hand, and the action is I push in like that, push like this with the inside middle finger and pull up. Push in, pull up. Then put the finger in the groove made by the thumb previously and pull up. Push in, pull up. Go the whole way around. And it starts to take on a very nice flow. There is one thing I recommend, which I did not do thinking about this demo, is you want to make sure the edges of your fingernails are soft, because if they're not, they cut little grooves into the side wall, which can make it sharp. So what I do recommend is take a sponge, wet sponge, and just soften the interior where my finger may have made it a little sharp. Clean it up like that. I bring it out at a slight angle. That's so the spatula can fit in. If it's straight up and down, it's more difficult for the spatula to fit in to remove the piece of quiche. And that's it. That's our quiche pan. Thanks again for joining us at the Canton Clay Works.